Hi, I'm Julia Graves, APQS educator and owner of Special Occasion Quilts. Today we're going to talk about the very important but often overlooked aspect of loading a quilt, and that is looking for where might be the problems. So the first thing we're going to look for is the quilt square? And typically, most quilts aren't square, but we're looking to make sure that both sides, vertically and horizontally, are even. So to do that, the easiest way is to match up your four corners and put it in fourths. Because often when it's a very big quilt, you can't easily hold that quilt and measure all four sides. So if you can do that and things seem pretty even, then you're in good shape. You should take the middle of the quilt, put it up, and say, yes, this side is also even. So that means my borders are not stretched more than the middle of the quilt. And then I'm going to do the same this direction. And I can see it's pretty much the same. So how much is too much off? I would say an inch on a smaller quilt, 2 inches on a huge quilt, maybe a queen. But if it's more than that, you want to try to fix those borders. The next thing you're going to look at is the quilt flat. And so we look at various blocks. So we can see if things are lining up, that's a good indication that the blocks are square. But if they're not, so for example, here, we're off by 1/4 inch. And we can measure those blocks and see, okay, that block looks right. That one seems okay. Oh, but this one is 5 3/4, and that is what is throwing off these here. And so we might want to look at some other blocks, maybe this one. Turns out this block is way wider than the 6 inches it's supposed to be. And that's making this have a lot of extra fullness. Now let's look to see if our borders are nice and flat or if there's some extra fullness and waviness to them. Common culprits of making a wavy border are pieced borders or multiple borders. If it's a pieced border, does it have stay stitching along the outside to make sure that these don't pull apart at the seams when you're wrestling it onto the long arm and smoothing things out? Now, are the sashings aligned? This quilt doesn't have sashing, but it does have some mismatched blocks, which is similar to what the sashing would be. So oftentimes you have that sashing lined up and it's offset because we haven't used a cornerstone. If we had the cornerstone, then when we put this on, we would be able to line up our blocks on either side and adjust it easier as we were sewing it together. And that helps eliminate sashings that are misaligned. Next, we want to look at, is the quilt top pressed? Now this quilt top, if it ever was pressed, wasn't pressed very well. And it has some definite issues. So we can see over here, this is well done. We've spun the seams and there's not a lot of seam buildup. Compare that with, say, this block over here, which has lots of buildup and lots of crossed seams. For example, this one is pressed here, but it's over this way. And really, this should have been pressed the whole way flat. Other times, that's sewn in to be a flipped seam, and you can't fix it. For example, this one, it's flipped this way here, but this way here. And that's going to give you problems because the quilt won't lay flat and it will sort of bubble there. We should have all of these nicely pressed along. Another thing to be looking for is, do we have any popped seams? That's where maybe the seam was short because the block was small. And we can find those, for example, over here, that seam is completely missed because this was a small block. We can see the sewer tried to compensate by doing an 1/8 of an inch seam on this block compared to the 1/4 on the others. But here, it just got too small and it's popped. Hardly noticeable from the front until you start to stretch it. Certainly don't want to catch your hopping foot in here, so you want to fix that seam, preferably before you've loaded the quilt. Another thing to look for is, do you have any dark threads that are going to shadow through, or seam allowances that are going to show the dark? For example, here, this dark green, we can see actually is showing through because the white is shorter. So that doesn't look like it's too bad here, but when you press it on your batting and you flatten it out, you can definitely see the shadow here. Here's a dark thread. Doesn't look bad until you have it on the white batting and you can definitely see the dark line of the thread shadowing through. And often you don't see it until you've quilted over it and pushed that fabric down over the thread. And so then it looks very, very dark right here. The other thing to look for is, are there any blocks that are turned? For example, this block here, we have a popped seam that we need to take care of. And maybe we look at this and we say, oh, those pink hearts were supposed to be this way. The orientation is off. Much easier to fix this now before the quilt is loaded. So what you would do, mark the block, mark it on this side as well so that you can easily remember which block you are supposed to be working on. And then you're going to unsew in this from the last seam to the first seam. So you go maybe from an inch back here. We put our border on last, so I'm going to take out my stitching from here to about an inch. Then I'm going to take out my stitching here to about an inch. Same thing over here. I'm going to go a little farther here because I want to get to where I'm catching that seam allowance. So maybe I would go an inch past here. Then I'm going to unsew this last section. We can see how big this block was. And so we can see that the sewer tried to compensate by making this size smaller, but it's 7 inches instead of 6.5 here. And it was 6.5 on each corner and 6 3/4 this way. So the person could have trimmed up that block, but it was hand stitched. If you trim it, you run the risk that you lose those knots and now your block unravels. So after you have the block out, you're going to orient it correctly, pin it in place, check that yes, that's the right orientation, and then sew from the last stitching you did to the first. So we're going to reattach it here. Then we're going to come do this seam, making sure we catch that pop seam. Then we'll come over here, and then last, we'll just attach that border portion. So it's so important to look at the quilt and see what are the problems you're going to have, because it's going to impact the design you pick and oftentimes the batting. So the things you definitely want to try to fix before you load it: pop seams, trimming threads, looking for the shadowing, doing a stay stitching around the border so that you don't get popped seams or stretching, especially if you have a bias edge. This is the straight of grain. This was the bias. Look how much more stretch is in there. And so stay stitching along that section is very important. I would do the whole quilt, but especially if you have bias. So a common cause of having a quilt not be square is that you have blocks on point. What this does is instead of having the straight of grain, you now have it on the bias, and there's so much more stretch. And if you're setting triangle, if you have just taken a square in half and sewn it in, you have all the bias along your edge, making it very stretchy and wanting to get out of shape. But if you cut it instead of just in half, but in fourths, like a quarter square triangle, then you have the straight of grain along that outer edge, and it's so much more stable. So one of the most common problems are going to be those wavy borders and the quilt is not square. Sometimes it's just not practical to redo the quilt or redo the borders. So the next video, I'll tell you and show you how do you deal with excess fullness in the borders and excess fullness in the blocks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If there are other subjects that you would like to hear me address about how to fix quilts, please put those in the comments.